Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you my current foundation routine and what I do to make my skin look like it's flawless. So my number one rule is to always start with a clean face and clean hands. I wash my hands before with antibacterial soap, and then I always have antibacterial hand sanitizer on hand as well. You want to keep your hands really clean, especially because you're going to be touching your face so much. The second thing I do before I put makeup on is moisturize. I use a moisturizer with an SPF in it also, just to kind of protect from the sun, and it really just helps, makes your skin nice and even and helps to balance out any of those dry areas. Once I get started, I'm going to start with a primer, and I just recently started using this Laura Mercier foundation primer, and it's in Radiance just because I feel like it has a really nice grip to it and it doesn't gather or separate. But in the past I've really liked this color correcting primer from Smashbox. I really like that this one gets rid of those red tones. I have really red prone skin. But I think that this one has a little bit better grip as far as like my foundation really sticking and staying put all day long. So I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier primer, and I'm just using a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna start in the T-zone, which is your nose, forehead, and then just start working outward. So I'm just gonna let that primer set all the way before I put on my foundation. You gotta think of it like paint. When you put it on, you wanna let it dry all the way before you put your next coat so that it can work properly. And the purpose of a primer is to even out your skin, which is the texture of your skin, so it's not dry in one area and really oily in another. And then the second purpose is to make it so that your foundation sticks to it, and so it sticks to it all day. I am still using the Lorac Natural Performance Foundation. I've continued to try and experiment with other foundations, and I keep coming back to this one. I just really like the coverage, I like the consistency, and I feel like it lasts a really long time for a foundation product. So to apply it, I'm just gonna squirt a little bit on the back of my hand. If you have a palette, you can use your palette. I'm using a high definition foundation brush from IT Cosmetics, and I'm just going to dip the brush in the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna start applying it on my nose and in my T-zone, and then again working my way out. Okay, so now that my foundation's all applied, I'm actually gonna let that set as well, aka let your paint dry all the way before you apply anything else. So the next thing I'm gonna do is color correct the dark circles under my eyes, and I'm using this color corrective palette from Zoeva, but there are other alternatives you can get from places like Sephora or even over the counter stuff. I really like this color corrective crayon from L'Oreal. It's called True Match. And I've used this a whole bunch of times. I really like it. It works really well, but today I'm gonna use my palette. And I'm just gonna load up a concealer brush and just only apply the concealer to the dark circles. Now I'm just gonna take a beauty blender and kind of blend all over. And then the final thing I'm gonna use is my powder finish, and I'm still using Hello Flawless from Benefit. The shade I'm using is Petal, and I just love this. It's still my favorite. It has the best coverage, it has the best texture to it, and it goes on super soft and smooth. I'm going to use this powder brush also from IT Cosmetics, I'm gonna load my brush and then apply to the T-zone and then work my way out. One last thing I like to do with my powder is take a sponge applicator, and you can even use your beauty blender and just kind of roll it in your powder. And then I roll that right on my nose and a little bit on my cheeks. This kind of helps disguise large pores. I have really, really big pores on my nose and cheeks, so I do this so it kind of makes them have like a flat finish to them so you can't really see them. And that is the gist of my routine for getting flawless looking skin. So this is the end result. As you can see, using all of those products really makes for a nice clean background or canvas for the rest of your makeup to really shine forth and pop. If you like this video, please subscribe to see more, or go to whippycake.com to see more tips and tricks on fashion, styling, and beauty. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.